Pupils, welcome to Basic Science Basic 4 class. Today we are still looking at the human body system and we're looking at the last component of circulatory system. Remember we said we have three components of circulatory system: the heart, the blood vessel, and the blood. So today we are looking at the last one, the blood. Now what do we intend to achieve at the end of this lesson? At the end of this lesson, we want to be able to define blood. We want to be able to identify the components of blood and their function. We define it and identify the components of blood and their function. So let's move forward. Now, what is blood? Blood is said to be a fluid, a body fluid in humans and other animals that moves materials around the body. A body fluid in humans and other animals that moves materials around the body. A body fluid in humans and other animals that moves materials around the body. You get it? So let's look at the components of blood. Component means what are those things that make up blood. The first one is what? The blood plasma. The blood what? Plasma. The first one is what? The blood plasma. The second one is the blood cells. The blood cells. So there are two components of blood, the blood plasma and the blood cells. The blood plasma and the blood cells. Okay, now let's look at the blood plasma. The first one, the blood plasma. The blood plasma is said to be the liquid part of blood. Is the liquid part of blood, which comprises what? Water, enzymes, mineral salts, hormones, proteins, digested food, waste materials, and many other ones. It contains many other things. The liquid part, which comprises all these, including blood cells. Blood cells float in the blood plasma. Now look at this diagram here. You will see this place that looks like water is what we call a splash water. That this place that looks like a splash water is what we call the blood plasma. You see the cells and many other things floating on them. I know by now you'll be asking yourself, blood is red now, why is this one not red? Well, blood is actually red, but we're trying to reduce what makes blood to be red is the blood cell, the red blood cell. We reduce the red blood cell so that we can see this plasma we're talking about, to show us that even the red blood cell is floating on what? The plasma. Now, if we try to separate blood in our lab using our spinning machine, this is what we will get. You will get the cells will settle down while the liquid part will be up. That liquid part is what we call the blood plasma. That's what we call the blood plasma. Now let's go to the second component, which is the blood cells. The blood cells. The blood cells. There are three main blood cells that we have. How many blood cells do we have? Three. How many do we have? Three. The three main blood cells. Three blood cells in our body. Now the first one is what we call the red blood cells. The red blood cells, or what we call, another name for it is erythrocyte. The red blood cell or erythrocyte. That is the first one. The second one will be what? The white blood cells. The white blood cell, or what we call leukocyte. Tell me what will be the third one. Somebody is saying green blood cell, brown blood cell. Okay, since we say white and red, so the other one should be what? Oh, it's not true. It's not in a color. The next one is blood platelets. You see, it does not have color. Blood platelets. And another name for it is what? Thrombocytes. Another name for it was what? Thrombocytes. So we have three cells in our blood. The first blood cell is called the red blood cell. The second blood cell is called white blood cell. And the third one is called the blood platelets. And their names are erythrocyte, leukocyte, and thrombocyte. Now let's look at the first one. Now, okay, this is the blood. This is the blood vessel. This is the blood. We are actually trying to show you the blood. This is the blood vessel. You see, this is the blood plasma. Inside it, you see things that are floating. The red ones are the red blood cell. The white ones, they are different types of white blood cell. They are the white blood cell. While the small ones are the blood platelets. They are just too small. Okay. Now the red blood cells. This is how the red blood cells looks like. Did you see it? This is how they look like. In fact, they made up almost 90% of the blood. That is why they are the cells that gave the blood the reddish color. Just imagine you have red, you have white, maybe you have black. Then you have like a drum of red color. Then you have a small cup of white color and a small cup of green color. When you mix them together, what do you think the color of that particular mixture will be? It will definitely be red because red is bigger. That is what happens in blood. Blood contains every other thing, but because the red blood cell is so much, it makes the blood to be what? Red. So this is the red blood cell. So the red blood cells are many. Did you see what I just said? They are many. There are many, but they do not last long. They last like between 100 to 120 days for an adult, and for a child, they last about 70 to 90 days. So there are many, but they do not last long. Look at it. Even this one that we reduce them so that we can see the blood plasma. You will see they are still more than every other cells. Did you see it? They are still more than it. So the red blood cells are many but do not last long. Now, they are produced in the bone marrow. Remember when we were discussing skeleton, I told you that one of the functions of bone and skeleton is that they produce blood. Now, the blood they produce is the red blood cells, and all the blood cells, they produce the blood cells. That is where they are produced. So the red blood cell is also produced in the bone marrow, and excess are stored in a small organ in our body that we call the spleen. That is where they store the excess. Look at it. This is the spleen. This is the bone marrow. They produce it. They are born here. And they are destroyed here. Their lifespan is approximately 120 days. Now, they are mostly circular in shape. They are circular in shape. You see them? They are like circle. Look at this one. It has the shape of a circle. Though there are some people that their own is not circle. Those ones are the ones that have what we call the sickle cell anemia. So their own is circled. So they have sickle cell anemia. Now, the red blood cells have no nucleus at maturity. When they mature, they don't have any nucleus. Nucleus is a small, a center part that is always inside an organ. Nucleus. Okay, they have no nucleus. Now, the main function of the red blood cell, we say we know their function. The main function of the red blood cell is to transport oxygen. How does it do that? The red blood cell transports oxygen through an iron pigment that we call hemoglobin. It contains an iron pigment that we call hemoglobin. Hemoglobin can easily bond with oxygen and can easily also bond with carbon dioxide. So the red blood cell can easily bond because of the hemoglobin, bond with oxygen. It bonds with oxygen, it transports it to any part, drop it off, pick carbon dioxide, transport it, and continue like that. So the red blood cell can transport what? Oxygen. That is what they do. That is their work. Okay. Now let's look at the white blood cells. The white blood cells. The white blood cells are few, but they live longer than the red blood cell. Look at it. Look at this place. You can see the red blood cells everywhere. But look at the white blood cells. Just few of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just few of them. But look at this one. Red blood cells everywhere, uncountable. Inside, this is the plasma. Did you see it? They are just few, but they can last longer. They can last more than others. Now they have no regular shape, just like the other one. The red blood cells, they have circular shape, is it not? The white blood cell does not have any shape. They don't have any regular shape. You can't say this is their shape. They have no regular shape. Now they are also produced in the bone marrow. Remember I told you all blood cells are produced in the bone marrow. They are also produced in the bone marrow. They have a nucleus. Unlike the red blood cells, the white blood cells, they have nucleus at maturity. Look at it. We have actually different types of white blood cells. Now look at it. This one, it has a nucleus. This one, it has a nucleus. It has a nucleus. It has a nucleus. It has a nucleus. The different types. All of them, they have a nucleus. That is the center image that you're seeing here. liquid. Now, what is the function of the white blood cell? The white blood cell's function is to kill what? Germs. That is what any germs that enter your body, the white blood cell is what kills what? It. That is the function. So they fight germs that can cause disease, or even any foreign body, anything that is not part of our body that enters our body, the white blood cell do what? Fight them. Okay, now let's look at the last one, the blood platelets. The blood platelets. The blood platelets. Now the blood platelets are tiny and they have irregular shape. They are tiny, but they have irregular shape. You see them here. See, this is the blood platelet. This is the blood platelet. They are just tiny, but they have what? Irregular shape. Yeah. They have no nucleus like the red blood cell. They don't have nucleus also. They have no nucleus like the red blood cell. They are also produced in the bone marrow like every other blood cells. They are also produced in the bone marrow like every other blood cells. And what is their function? They help in blood clotting. What do we mean by blood clotting? When you have a cut, you will see after the blood will start coming out, is it not? After some time, a chunk of blood will come and cover the cut, and then the bleeding will stop, is it not? Now that thing that covered the spot and stop the bleeding is what we call clotting. The blood has just clotted. Now if you don't have blood platelets, or you have problem with your blood platelets, that is your thrombocyte, it means that a small cut, you will continue to bleed. The person will continue, not you. The person will continue to bleed until the person does what? Die. So the blood platelet helps to stop that bleeding. If not, a small cut will just mean that you continue to bleed and bleed and bleed and bleed until the person does what? Die. So the work of the blood platelet is to clot the blood. It helps in blood clotting. Okay. Now look at this diagram. It's showing all of them. These are the elements of blood. You see, the blood platelets are just small. Look at them, very, very small, tiny, tiny. Now this liquid is what we call the plasma. You know already. The white blood cell or the leukocytes. Look at them. There are different types. I told you there are different types. Look at them. Now the red blood cell, or what we call the erythrocytes. Look at them here. You see them. They all make up what we call the blood. Now a droplet of blood contains all of them. A droplet of blood will contain all of them. You see it? A droplet of blood will contain the plasma. In the plasma, you have the red blood cell suspended on it. You have the white blood cell on it. You have the blood platelets on it. Look at the plasma. There is a droplet of blood contains all this. Look at the blood flowing, and it has many red blood cells, which we call erythrocytes. It has the white blood cell, which we call leukocytes, and it has the blood platelet, which we call thrombocytes. And with this, we have come to the end of this lesson. By the time we meet next time, we talk about many other things, including the functions and circulation and oxygen distribution in our body. Thank you, and remember this. See you in our Google class. That is our Google class code. My name is Mr. Chukwudi. Thank you.